You publish a book, it starts to generate some sales, and then after just a few short days, it starts to fizzle out and then quickly dies a tragic death. What gives? In today's video, I am going to be talking about why that happens and what you can do about it. Welcome to the first installment of Ask Rachel, where I answer all of your burning low content publishing questions. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the best low content publishing advice, and be sure to hit the bell so you get notified every time I create one of these videos each and every Monday. Okay, so today's question is from Neil, and I chose Neil's question because it's one that I see quite a bit in my free Facebook group. It comes up again and again, so I thought it would be great to just address it in a video for you guys, as it's probably a question that you might have somewhere along the line as well. So the question is from Neil, and the question is, I've been sticking to the same niche and branching out into sub-niches. I'm finding that I will publish a book and it will immediately get a few sales, then will totally die off. Could you give the group some advice or reasons as to why this might happen? So, like I said, this is a super common problem that I hear talked about in the group, and there are a couple of different things going on here. Firstly, there are some pretty dramatic fluctuations in sales that can happen month to month and from day to day. But putting that aside, what's going on here is usually when you first publish a book, your book is given a little boost in discoverability right off the bat by Amazon, just so it has a chance to compete with more established books that have already been published. Now, that's why you're going to potentially see some sales right at the beginning once you've published. Now, if your book doesn't maintain that same level of sales, or if your competitors in that space are generating more sales than your book, then what's going to happen is the algorithm is going to pick that up and it's going to send you further down into the algorithm because it's going to give preference to books that are making more sales than you. And of course, as you get pushed down further, you're going to lose some of that discoverability. That results in fewer sales, which pushes you down further, and it ends up becoming a snowball effect. You keep losing discoverability, resulting in fewer sales, resulting in less discoverability, and before you know it, that book has died its tragic death. Now, what this indicates generally is that either your keywords are too competitive, or there is simply more demand for your competitors' books, so the competitors' books are just simply outselling yours. Now, the reasons for this might be a few different things. Your competitor's book might just simply look better than yours, might be of a higher quality, it might offer some features that your book doesn't. A big one is social proof. So if those books that you're competing against are long established, they're likely to have a slew of positive reviews, so that could be a factor as well. This just creates a bit of a landscape in which it just makes it tough for your book to stand a chance against that competitor. So what's the solution here? Firstly, I want you to reassess your competition. So you need to objectively assess how your book stacks up against them. Your book needs to be at least as good as, preferably better than the competition that you're up against. So you need to think about how you can make your book more visually appealing than what's already out there. You need to think about any features that you might be able to offer that your competitors aren't currently offering. And you want to think about whether or not you can see any gaps in the market in terms of specific audiences that may not be represented in that niche. So if you're seeing specific audiences represented, are there any that you think are missing that could still be in that niche but might draw a slightly different audience over to your books that maybe the competition that you have aren't currently appealing to? Another thing you want to do is read the reviews. You want to find out what people's gripes are with any of your competitors' books, so you can try and capitalize that and make those improvements in your own book. The second thing you want to do is reassess your book's design as well as your book detail page. So design is extremely important, and I think this is one of the most overlooked features that I see going on in the entire low content publishing landscape. It doesn't matter how good your research is, if your book design sucks, nobody's going to want to buy it. That is literally the first thing that people are going to see when they're cruising through Amazon looking for a specific book. The first thing that's going to draw them in is going to be the way the cover looks. So you've got to put the time and effort into creating a visually appealing design. Next thing you want to do when you're looking at your book detail page is look at your title. Does it have a compelling, natural sounding title free from keyword stuffing? If you've got a keyword stuffed title, it doesn't look legit. You want this as much as possible to look like it was created by a real book publisher, because that's what you want to be here. You want to be a legit book publisher. You don't want to look like some rinky-dink operation that's just trying to cut corners and keyword stuff, and it just looks it doesn't look very credible. It doesn't look very legit. It doesn't look professional. So steer clear of that. The next thing you want to do is have a compelling description, and you want that description to be completely free of spelling and formatting errors. Your book description is the sales page for your book, so it's got to look professional, it's got to read well, it's got to be formatted well. So don't scrimp on this part. Take the time and effort to create a compelling description, free from all spelling errors and formatting mistakes. Thirdly, you want to reassess your keywords. See if you can find any lower competition keywords that you can throw into your mix of 7 keyword slots. If you're falling out of the algorithm super quickly in a bunch of your different keywords, switch a couple of them up. If you're typing each one of your keywords into the search bar and you're seeing your book come up on different pages, take the ones where you're having the least results in terms of your discoverability and swap those keywords out. See if you can find any lower competition keywords that are going to help you gain a little bit more discoverability for your book. Now, the fourth thing you can do is experiment with ads. Now, this is a bonus step. It is not for beginners. And you really do have to nail every other part of the process before you even think about experimenting with ads, or you're just going to lose money and you're going to diminish your returns. So if your book generates a few sales at the beginning, you could potentially retain your book's discoverability with an ad to see if you can then amplify those sales, or at least keep them going over the course of about a week. But if you publish your book and it's immediately dead in the water, you've got to skip the step. You've got to go back to the previous 3 that I just outlined. And if and when your book starts to see some initial sales, only then would I try to experiment with one ad on one book just to see how it goes. Dave Chesson's got a free Amazon ad course that I will link to in the description below. I'm going through that right now myself, and it's been very helpful. So I would definitely check out that if the whole world of advertising on Amazon is bending your brain a little bit. I don't think it's easy to get the hang of right away. So you don't want to just rush into that. You want to nail every other part of the process first, and then and only then can you try and use ads to amplify sales. Not create them out of nothing, amplify sales that you're already getting. Thanks for joining me for Ask Rachel. If you'd like to find out more about self-publishing low-content books, you can download my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low-Content Book in Less Than a Day. The link to that is down in the description below. And if you'd like to join a like-minded group of fellow self-publishers also on their journey toward creating passive income through low-content publishing, you can go ahead and join my free Facebook group, and I've also left a link to that in the description below as well. Now, my free Facebook group is where I'm generating these questions for Ask Rachel. So that's the place to be if you've got a question that you would like me to cover on an Ask Rachel episode. So go ahead and join that free group, ask your question there. And if I think it's a good question that will benefit everybody, then I will choose your question. Check out these videos next for some more low-content publishing Q&As. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks so much for watching.